Mike Hurd back at you again with another informative video focusing on you newbies out there that just maybe picked up your first puppy, Labrador Retriever puppy. You're getting ready to focus on training and looking towards the future. I'm not going to focus on puppy training, but what I am going to focus on is the essential equipment needed when you attend a hunt test or even a training group or you're out there training by yourself. These are the things you're going to need to get to help you along that journey as you migrate through the dog's life. All right, so even if you're not a newbie, and I would love to hear what kind of equipment you guys carry in your bag and on your truck. And if there's something in here that you have that I don't, I would love to hear from you. So leave a comment down below and let's pass some knowledge on to the retriever world out there and what equipment and things that you definitely need, okay? All right, so first of all, you may see behind me, I've got a whiteboard, even though we're focusing in on what's in my equipment bag, but I want to show you this first real quick. I got both my dogs here. I got a whiteboard. I got things I need to work on, things that they're having difficulties with, and I'm trying to check off these things as I go through winter training into the spring training before we get into the field trial game and hunt test game coming up this spring and summer. So if you see me waddling around, I got 2 Labrador Retrievers laying here at my feet. Are you done yet, Dad? Let's go training. All right, let's get into the details of what's in the bag, what's in my equipment bag that you'll need to take to an event or out training. One is a lead. This is an essential piece of equipment. I like these English style slip leads because you can put it around the dog and cinch it up a little bit. It does choke them a little bit, but you're not trying to be mean, and I'm not emphasizing being difficult or injuring the dog, but these are some of the things you'll need to have in your bag, okay? So I like this, and why do I like this? Because when I get the dog from the truck to the first hold and blind, to the next hold and blind, to the third hold and blind, last hold and blind, I need some control on the dog, and you can do that with this choker style type lead. And you can snap it, you know, when they're getting too far ahead of you, they're not listening to you, you know, you can snap the lead and get their attention like, hey, pay attention. We're about to do something fun, but you need to pay attention to me. So an English slip lead is very important. Not only do I have one of these, I have 3 more in the truck. So I don't want to be frantically looking for an English slip lead as that, oh God, they called my number and I need to rush up there. So make sure you have several of these around. I usually have one in my wife's car, 2 in my truck, and 1 in my bag, just in case I have my wife's car and I need to have one of these around. Okay. English slip lead, try and have more than one. And again, I'm going to leave links in the bio down below in the description where you can buy some of this equipment, okay? Very, very important piece of equipment no matter what you do. This is the most essential thing you'll need. This is how you communicate to your dog, is through whistles. You have voice commands, sit, stay, here, heel, etc. But when they're out away from you, your only communication you have with your dog is through your whistles. Those little upland, skinny little whistles, I don't recommend it. For the game that I play, it does me absolutely no good. I think they're a waste of my money, but if you're doing upland bird work, sure, buy them and train your dog to that end. But I will keep a set of these whistles with me if I'm upland bird hunting and I have one of those skinny little whistles, you know, and I'm tweeting them to quarter. But if they're out there, if I shoot a bird and it goes way out there, I'm reverting back to these because these are going to carry out there 300, 400, 500 yards. And if they're running towards a highway, for example, or they're running towards something that's dangerous, I need to be able to stop them and get them under control. And you're not going to do that with those skinny little upland whistles. These are the whistles to have. So let's go over these. This is a Jimgonia mega whistle. It's got a little megaphone. So there's a whistle inside here. I don't know if you can see it in there, but it's a clear whistle, and it's got a P in it, so it's going to give you a little trill. Okay, so you can blow that a lot harder than I did, but if I blow it any harder, the microphones won't pick it up. So this will carry out there good 150, maybe 200 yards on a calm day, but how about a super windy day, or your dog's busting through cattails, mud, ice, water, and it's getting out there, and you need to get the dog's attention. This is the Green Monster. This is a Green Monster type style whistle. I call it a mega whistle, but this does not have a P in it. There's a couple of different names, and in fact, there's a couple of different brands. This one is the same thing. It's got the same whistle in it, but someone has a 3D printer, and they actually made that, and I bought it. It was dirt cheap. So I'm going to try these out this summer. I got 2 or 3 of these to try out. But these are a lot sharper, piercing sound. I don't know if the microphone picked that up, but this is going to carry 200, 300, 400 yards. And if you blow it hard enough, they're out there 500 yards, blow it hard and long, they should be able to hear this, even if they're panting and getting through heavy cover and stuff like that. So this is a must-have type whistle. So I have not just one of these type of whistles, I have a backup set of whistles in here as well, and it's the same thing. This is the original Green Monster right here. I've had that for over 30 years. It's a little dirty, I need to clean it, but it's the same Jim Gonya whistle, and then it's the Green Monster. It's the same thing. It just does not have a P in it. It's a P-less type whistle, and again, I have a backup. Look at the blue lanyard. I got that from Dave Worm, attending a Dave Worm seminar. Of course, Dave's all about winning field trials, and that was fun to get that at the end of the seminar that I attended. Okay, so lanyards and whistles. That's on the top of my bag. Next, e-collars. Some of you may use e-collars. Some of you don't like e-collars. I don't care. That's totally up to you. I use e-collars. I have been using e-collars ever since they came out. And you had to put the little plugs in them for certain types of intensity. And that was back in the late 80s and early 90s. I like Garmin. Used to be Tritronics, now Garmin. I have 3 dogs. I have 3 e-collars, 2 transmitters. One transmitter will run, well, actually, one transmitter will run all 3 collars if I program it right, but I want to keep one collar separate on the other dog that I'm working so I don't accidentally nick the wrong dog. And one is a backup. So I have a red one. I put that on the youngest dog, and then the next oldest dog, I put the black one on there. Then this other one is just a backup. So Garmin is the collar that I use. I use the Garmin Pro 550. And on the Pro 550, you have certain levels of intensity. The V is for vibrate, then 1 through 7. Okay, this will go up to a 7. And then on the front of this, you have 2 buttons. So that's a low, that's a medium, both together are high. C is for continuous, M is for momentary. A is for auxiliary. The auxiliary part will actually turn on lights on the front of these collars. There's little headlights on there. So if I'm out airing in the early morning hours or in the dark, I can turn those lights on and I can see where the dogs are at. That's a fantastic feature. So a lot of the times on my youngest dog, he reacts very well to a vibrate. And I have another dog that's 95 pounds and he responds very well to a level 2. But I will crank up the intensity if I need to. And again, it's easy to do. So it's just a thumb wheel here while they're out training, and I can actually move this up if they're doing something that they shouldn't be doing, and I can bring up the intensity. E-collars are a must training tool. You cannot use an e-collar when you go to a hunt test or a field trial. You can't even have it on them. If you get them out of the truck, you cannot put an e-collar on them. That's a no-no. That's against the rules. That could get you disqualified and booted off the ground. So you got to be very, very careful with that. That's why I like these English-style slip leads and or a long lead, a long zip lead that'll go out, I don't know, 10 or 15 yards. So let them go to the bathroom, and I'll carry that in my bag as well. That's important. All right, so digging deeper into the bag, I have black gloves. All right, so let me explain why I have black gloves. In the hunt test game, you have to have dark clothing on in the AKC world. Most people wear black, like I'm wearing right now. HRC side, you have to have complete camo, head to toe camo. You cannot wear black gloves in the HRC world. This is not a camouflage glove, okay? But in the AKC world, you can use black gloves. And I will wear a black glove probably about 90% of the time when I'm on the line running a dog. In the field trial side and on the hunt test side for American Kennel Clubs. And one reason is, for example, look at the white wall behind me, black sticks out. You can see that. My hand, not so much. You can barely see it, but think of that if they're out there 300 yards. Yes, they can see that, but they can't see my hand. You can barely see my fingers wiggling around. Now, if I put on a black glove, man, that's going to stick out. You get 6 more inches of casting, and you can see my hands. You know, if I did this or this, you can see that a lot better. Okay, so black gloves are a very important, critical piece of equipment that I have in my bag. I also have a set of white gloves. It's not in my equipment bag because I don't use those as much, but in the field trial side, if white is the color and I am got a dark background behind me, and again, I'm in all white, I want my hand to be all white as well, especially if the sun is shining on me. That will really stick out when I'm trying to handle. So black gloves are an important piece of equipment. Next is a set of binoculars. This is just a cheap Nikon Sprint 2. Look how beat up these are. I've had these probably for 25, 30 years. And these are an essential part of coming up to the line and watching a test dog. I'll have my binoculars with me. And I want to watch, especially if the blind is out there a fair distance, 120 yards or so. I want to see where they put that bird. I want to see what blade of grass is going on. I want to see if I can see the bird if I get close to it. If I can't, trying to figure out which way the wind is blowing around where that bird has been planted. Look for some grass to kind of wiggle in the wind, etc. I'll have a set of binoculars. I don't use them all the time, but it's something I'm going to bring with me up to the line when I watch a test dog. It's going to be around my neck, and I'm going to have these in case I have a hard time seeing where things are being placed out in the field. Speaking of that, I'm going to bring my cell phone up there. Binoculars and cell phone when I come up to the line. The cell phone, I'm going to record the test dog. Why do I do that? I don't really care how the test dog does. I'm not going to post it on social or anything like that. I just want to take the video back with me, especially if I'm not running early. I will take that video back and I'm going to watch it several times. And I'm going to see, okay, the middle gun throws to the right, the right-hand gun throws to the left, etc. And see where birds are landing and try and take that mental picture. Okay, this bird's going to land by these yellow flowers. This bird's going to land on the edge of the water. This bird's going to land by a rock, whatever. So I know when I'm trying to line my dog up to those marks, I don't have to watch the marks go off when I'm got the dog on the line. Dog's on the line, I'm signaling, I'm looking at the dog. You know, if I have a gun in my hand, I'm looking down at the dog and pointing out where the birds are and watching the birds go off. You can't point where the birds are before the marks go off in the hunt test game, but you can in the field trial game. But I'm looking at the dog, seeing if he sees the birds going off. I don't care to look out there myself. I'm looking down at the dog, trying to figure out if he can see them. So again, these two are essential tools when you're doing a test dog, watching a test dog, etc. All right, so how about you get your wife to go out there and throw your marks for you? Sounds great, right? Sometimes your wives will, sometimes they won't. I know my wife is very, very generous with her time. She comes out most of the time because we don't have children. We just have dogs, and this is our family, and this is our family times, and we go out and play with dogs. So save your marriage. Have radios, okay? And your wife is out there, your spouse is out there 200-300 yards. You want to be yelling, hey, knock that off, you're throwing it the wrong way, get the dog's attention. No, they kind of get the wrong idea that, hey, this isn't fun, and I don't want to do this anymore. If you use a radio, get on the radio. Honey, can you please get the dog's attention? Throw it more to the right, get his attention, hurry up, hurry up. Yeah, radios are essential. I have 3 radios. These things are dirt cheap, very cheap, and very inexpensive on Amazon. This one is an old club one. We got new ones. Yeah, I've got a whole bunch of these old ones in my equipment bag. This is a Retev IS. But again, they make these $5 or $10 each. These are incredibly cheap. I definitely recommend getting some of these. Now, before you go out and buy them, if you're in a training group, find out what radios the training group uses and buy those radios. So one person isn't dishing out all the radios and you lose 3 of them, and they kind of get upset. So buy your own radios if you're going into a training group. All right, next, if you're running hunt tests or field trials, you have to have an attention-getting device out in the field. If you got someone out throwing, that's usually a bang and throw. In the field trial world, you get a shot and then a throw. In the hunt test game, it's a quack, 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 shot and then a throw. This is a New England firearm. I don't even think they make these anymore, this style, but you can get different ones. I think they're all orange, or they make primer pistols. Buy one of these. These are really cheap and easy to handle in your hand. My wife loves this because she has something small in her hand, and she's just a nitty bitty thing. To throw a bird, she likes to have something else in her other hand that's really small. You can get propane boom guns. There are all kinds of them out there, but they're big and they're heavy. So it's hard for her to grab that boom gun and throw a bird as well. So this thing has been invaluable in training with my wife. So I've got my pistol and some shells, and then I've got a separate thing of 209 primers here that I keep in the truck because I've got 3 wingers. I have 1 zinger and 2 gunner up wingers. These will take a primer, so when you hit the release button, it'll hit that primer, you get a bang, and then you can see the bird go off. So shells, lots of shells in my bag. And speaking of that, you got lots of tools in my bag. I got some screwdrivers, some needle nose pliers. I got a Phillips and a flathead screwdriver. I got a wire cutter in here. What else is on here in the bottom? I got a knife, and I got a little set of channel locks here. Oh yeah, and a little bit of gun oil in there in case I need to oil up my bumper boys, for example, if they're getting too full of debris and stuff and they're not coming off very well, I'll wipe off, put a little bit of oil on them. So I got a little bit of tools in there in my bag. Next is streamers, invaluable, white and orange. Orange for marking your blinds, for example. You want to put a 300-yard blind, you want to put a couple of birds down for your dog, and you walk back and you run and you go, oh God, where did I put that? You need something to mark that off of, and this is good. If you're out there 200 to 300 yards or better, this is going to disappear. They make sticks, little 2-foot sticks. There's camo on the bottom, and it's got a big orange top on the top of it that actually stands up off the ground. That I have 4 or 5 of them in my truck that I use all the time. But orange streamers or orange ribbon is good. And the other thing you can do, speaking of your wife and the radios, you go out there and you set up your tests. If it's just you and your wife, you can say, all right, I want you to throw to that ribbon. Simplify it for her. So she doesn't throw and you go, no, that's not right. No, go out there and help your wife out and mark it. All right, next is white ribbon. Why in the world would I have white streaming ribbon? Well, if your dog's having a hard time seeing birds or even bumpers when you throw them, you can help the dog by adding some streamers to the bumpers or to the legs of the ducks. You can take a strip or 2 of this on each leg and put it on there, so when you throw it, this thing's going to be waddling in the air. That attraction, that movement will get the dog's attention, and hopefully they'll have a little easier time seeing it, especially if you're throwing 300, 400, 450-yard marks. This is the one thing that is a must in my training bag. One word of caution: you put a streamer like this on a duck's leg, on each leg, maybe even 2 or 3. What you don't want this is to be so long that when the dog grabs the duck's in its mouth, and he steps on the long part of this, it's going to pop the bird out. He's going to be stumbling all the way back trying to hold on to that duck. So make it, kind of measure where your dog's mouth and the ground is, and make it about 6 inches short of that, and you'll save your dog a little bit of grief. So I have streamer ribbons in my bag. All right, next, if you're going to run hunt tests, especially AKC hunt tests and HRC hunt tests, I guess, you need an attention-getting device. Duck calls are a must in your bag. The AKC world, if you're out there throwing, is quack, 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 throw, boom, shoot, or quack, 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 shoot, and then throw. The judges will tell you when we're there, but you have to have some duck calls, and you're better off having your own duck calls because you don't want the community ones where all the kids have been blowing on it. God knows what germs they're passing along. So have your own duck calls. Now, if you're in the HRC world, you have to have a duck call. You have to go to the line every single stake, the exception I think is started, but you have to blow a duck call on the line. Have a couple of them. Have your good one and a spare. All right, so that's the next set of equipment. The next thing I have is a whole bunch of earplugs. Save your wife's ears, a whole bag of them. Yeah, for obvious reasons, because those primer pistols are loud, especially when you raise them up in the air. She's always got some of these in her jackets. What else do I have in here? Okay, these things are invaluable. I think you can get them online, but when we order equipment, they seem to be on every piece of equipment we have in the club. And I got hundreds of these up in the clubhouse, so we have a lot of these. This is just a little rubber band type thing with a ball on it, okay? Why is this invaluable? Because if you're using wingers and attaching your Dogtra receiver, it's got the speaker right here. I can actually put this on the speaker part, just like that. See if this camera can pick it up. And then I'm going to wrap this part around the winger. Then I'm going to bring it back between the antenna and the speaker, and it's going to hold right there. That's going to hold this piece of equipment onto the winger. Instead of trying to mess around with these little screws back here, and they got little holes in the wingers, and it seems like it's an awkward way to put these on your remote wingers. All right, so I have 3 wingers. So I have 3 Dogtra receivers and a transmitter. That's in my bag as well. I think I hit every corner. So let's talk about the bag itself. All right, so I got this as a judge's gift. Let's see if the camera can get it. Back in 2006, and right now it's 2026. So this thing is 20 years old. Look how well it is. I mean, this thing is just like indestructible. It just sits in my truck. I don't log it around or carry it around back and forth, but it just sits in here. And this thing is meant for bird hunting. It's got side pouches. It's got a few little areas to put bird shells on. These are shotgun primer shells. These are very, very loud. I just have a handful of these in case I need a little extra noise out in the field. But this thing has been indestructible. So it's a great piece of equipment to have. I got pockets on the outside for some pins. I keep some spare ribbon in one, and I got this big pouch on the side, and these 2 smaller ones here. And this thing has been probably the best judge's gift I have ever received. Holds a lot of equipment. All this stuff fits inside this bag. So this is one of the best things I've ever got as a judge's gift. All right, so there's a lot of equipment here. Is there something here that is in your bag that isn't in mine? If I'm missing something here, I would love to hear from you. Let's share comments down below. And I'm going to share links on where you can find some of this equipment online if you want to purchase some of that. Again, we're trying to help out the new folks and those of you that maybe are even seasoned. You didn't think about having I don't know, ribbon in your bag or extra set of whistles or even these bungee cords, for example. These are the things that I carry, but I am curious if there's something I'm missing that you have. I want to know, so leave a message down below. Again, I'm Mike Hurd. Hope you enjoy the channel. Cruise around. There's a lot of videos here, and my end goal for this channel is to just, as an amateur, get more involved in helping pass on the knowledge to new folks, and y'all that run American Kennel Club and Hunting Retriever Club hunt tests and field trials. It's a game I absolutely love. I've been doing it since I first got married, and I've been doing it for 36 years now. 1990, first got my first dog, and absolutely love it. Spent a lot of time, money, and effort traveling around the country and enjoying this sport tremendously. Can't wait to get back out in the field. My dogs are probably taking a nap saying, we're not training. We're going to go training. We're going to get in the truck right now. We're going to go training and have a fun day. All right, everybody. Thanks for checking out the channel. Like, subscribe, leave comments. Let me know if you like this kind of content. If there's something you want to know more about, any piece of equipment that's in here you want to know more about, leave a comment, and I'll try and share with you what I have available. All right. Peace.